Jesse Weber. Alec Murdaugh, the disgraced lawyer convicted of killing his wife Maggie and son Paul.
Here in South Carolina, and today it culminated with a high drama inside the courtroom. Of course, people lining up still to be in there for the sentencing today. What will Judge Newman do? In the Alec Murdaugh
Day 9 of the double
week 3 of the Alec 100 hours of testimony.
This is the 14th day of the double
trial
murder.
drags into week 4 of looming
Day 17.
Now the defense.
Yeah, the dynasty was falling.
Yeah.
They were the law, right?
They literally were the law. They were.
Everybody knows that in the Low Country, if they need to, the Murdaughs will make somebody disappear. Murdaugh Podcast, take 3.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Alex Murdaugh Podcast. I'm your host, Liv Reimer.
I'm Megan Murdaugh.
And I'm Joshua Rapini.
Alex Murdaugh was a well-known lawyer from a dynasty of passed-down family lawyers through each generation of his family. In the Low Country of South Carolina, Alex and his wife, Maggie, have 2 kids, Paul and Buster. Alex is now convicted of murdering his wife and son, Paul.
Mallory Beach's family was suing Alec Murdaugh and Buster Murdaugh, and Paul was facing criminal charges. The Murdaugh family's boat crashed on February 24th, 2019 in Beaufort County, killing Mallory Beach, who was a passenger.
Boat crash.
The boat crash.
2019, February 2019.
Yeah, so they got invited to an oyster roast. It was Paul Murdaugh and his cousin, his best friend, and they're all girlfriends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were drinking, underage drinking, and then decided to get on this boat.
Stupidly on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Very stupidly on the boat.
let Paul drunk drive this boat back home.
Really
Basically, what happened was they got on this boat and, like, Paul was, like, very drunk. Like, he was 2 times over the limit, they said.
At least.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he started screaming at everyone and, like, put the boat in top speed and then just left, like, the wheel unattended.
Oh,
and then
good
so
Lord.
Connor kept, like, going back and, like, steering the wheel to the right direction.
Yeah.
And then he got into a fight with everyone and then ended up slapping his girlfriend in front of everybody. Mallory died. She's the
thrown
only
overboard.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit her head and drowned.
Paul Murdaugh was indicted for several counts of boating under the influence, one resulting in the death of Mallory Beach. If convicted, he faced the possibility of 25 years in prison.
Paul and his girlfriend crashed the car when there were like a ton of guns in the car and they were drunk.
And Alex got
Jesus.
pissed
And
at
Alec
his girlfriend.
Really, really
because
mad.
she called 911 and he was like, why would you do that?
Like, we can help you. Like, call
and, like,
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So they dug the car out of the ditch and left no evidence
Yeah.
of anything. They took the guns, ran to Alex's father came to the scene, took the guns, drove off, and then they came back and, like, unloaded the car and, like, made sure everybody was okay, and then, like, made it look like nothing ever happened.
it was insane.
He was like, everybody said Paul was like a really nice guy. Like, in the Dateline, the woman was like, "Oh, Paul was super loving and a big heart."
I hated
Not according to his girlfriend.
So I
at all.
hated that all the videos that we've seen, like, makes Paul out to be, like, this nicest kid, when in the documentary it states that he was the biggest drunk ever.
Yeah, he was like abusive.
And he abused
the crap
his girlfriend
out of that girl.
for months.
Yeah.
Like, she had bruises on her. Like,
Yeah.
Paul went to prison, or he went to court or whatever.
He was arraigned, yeah.
Yeah. But it took 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
And in that,
for them to get him, like, court and everything.
Yeah.
And he didn't even make it to it.
didn't. Yeah.
Because he
No.
died.
He yeah.
June
2
9th.
He got shot.
June 9th was
2
the
days.
day of the trial.
Yeah.
and
2 days beforehand.
June
Yeah.
7th, yeah.
Like, this kid was not a good kid.
No, he wasn't. He was a hardcore alcoholic.
Yeah.
Hardcore. She talked about, in the documentary, how they would go to the house and he'd be drinking. He'd be drinking at parties in front of his
And
parents.
his parents just,
and
like,
they just
Paul and
didn't
Maggie
care.
just let him.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't care.
Hardcore. Not like sipping on something. No.
Yeah, like, he was drunk 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, I sweated. I was heavy and taking prescription pills also makes you sweat worse, or at least taking oxycodone makes you sweat more than you normally do.
He was stealing from his customer or his clients.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
stealing from his clients and fraud.
Yeah.
Can we get into that for a second?
How do you?
It was outrageous, honestly. It's kind of hard to even fathom.
You're already rich and you need more money from innocent people.
Yeah, how do you
They came to you for help.
Yeah.
right? And how do you
because
get
they-
away with that?
I don't know how no
I
one
feel
caught
like-
it until this moment.
Heavily addicted to
Yeah.
opioids.
60 didn't Suda say
Yeah.
60 a day or
60
something?
pills a day.
60
Which
a
would
day.
kill him.
You
Which is
you would be dead.
insane.
That's
That
not.
would kill you.
In the documentary, they talk about how with the math with the price of Oxycontin, which is what it was, the supply that Alex had would have lasted a normal person 114 years. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Which is
There's
actually
something
which makes
else-
you think that maybe he was dealing in that business too.
There's
Yeah.
something else that had to have been going on. I don't
Yeah.
believe that their money had to have been something else. Okay, can
that's
we
also true.
talk about
Like-
Alex lying
About-
to the police about where he was and the
Yeah.
whole storyline?
Yeah, the whole timeline is screwed up.
The
from the
timeline makes
beginning.
no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. It really, really doesn't. Even the one that the prosecution had doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The times he had to have literally killed them and then cleaned up in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had 70 some steps. They were tracking his
It was
phone
200
or something.
and then he hit 70 miles on his car.
Yeah, he had 200
Yeah, he
steps
was
in a
on,
minute, and he was
80
oh,
down
he's really
that one
moving.
road that he was
Yeah.
going down to get to his mom's house.
And Paul went insane. He was.
I feel like maybe not Maggie.
But
Alex.
Alex was definitely insane.
Alex was gone.
Something
Alex-
about
He's a
him.
pathological liar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beyond
once you
I don't
start
think
lying
he.
like that,
I
you're
don't
not
think
coming back.
he even knows the truth. I genuinely don't think that Alex knows exactly what happened.
No.
No.
Because I think about if you're on that many drugs and if you
Yeah.
keep lying and lying and lying, you
You're
don't
just-
know what happened.
Yeah, you're not gonna stop.
He probably convinced himself that he didn't even do it.
Have you worked different areas at SLED?
No, sir. My entire time in SLED has been with the Low Country region, which encompasses 12 counties. We do general investigations.
Even if it wasn't Alex, they didn't really have enough. I feel like they didn't have enough evidence to decide who it was. Or SLED didn't do a very good job.
Oh, SLED? Okay.
They're a whole nother
SLED?
story.
They did not the amount of mistakes that the investigators in SLED made, and I
Yeah.
feel like my personal opinion is that they covered it up, or they tried to cover it up for Alex.
Oh yeah. Alex definitely tried to pay someone off with the money he had left.
Oh, definitely. But
That even ties into more of how can they convict him when they didn't have evidence. There's nothing physical tying him to the crime scene. No
not at all.
no murder weapon. No
didn't they
DNA.
mention? I thought that
No
they mentioned
fingerprints.
that one of their guns could have been.
There
a
were
murder
guns.
weapon.
The guns that were used in the murder were found on the property, but they weren't the guns that they used. They could be,
Oh,
but
but it wasn't completely
it wasn't.
proven.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Which makes next to no sense because how are you going to have those guns, those exact guns on the property, and then not try to find them as the murder weapon? Definitely was.
Yeah.
I still don't think that some of the financial crimes should have been used in the trial because the relevance, it's there for the motive and motive only, but after that they went in detail on those crimes in front of the murder,
100%,
it was for a murder trial, and he's being tried for all these pretty much tried for all these thefts. It just doesn't make sense. It was there for a murder. The defense only showed the motive. They never went in depth on murder weapons or DNA or fingerprints, footprints.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt my son, Paw.
Because he didn't do it. They took the people that did it took the guns with them.
Okay, so you don't
That's
think
true.
he did it?
No, I don't.
I think he. I
don't think he did it.
believe he did it.
Here's the thing. After watching the Dateline this morning, low key, I kind of can see how it could be him.
Yeah.
It's too coincidency, right?
The whole
there's,
thing is.
There's the financial crimes. Alec knows he's 2 days away from having to reveal his financial crimes. June 9th in court to Mark Tinsley, the Beach family lawyer. He knows he has to turn over the documents. So 2 days before everything gets put out for the public, he kills his family to create sympathy for him and avoid the cameras that were going to be shown on June 9th, right?
Exactly.
Which it makes a lot of sense. It does.
And then
it's
also,
a little more
in the podcast, if you think about it, they say that his wife was seen going to a divorce attorney.
Yeah, that was
So imagine like being Alex and your older son just got kicked out of college for plagiarism when he was supposed to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Your younger son is gonna go to jail, like he killed someone, and he's even after the incident, like he was still drinking. Like he was still partying all the time. Like he's a mess. And then your wife now wants to divorce you when she knows, she had to have known that you've been doing all these crimes, that you've been addicted to all these painkillers or whatever. Like he had the motive. It was there.
Yeah, defense attorneys.
I think Buster knows something still though.
Buster
for sure
100%
knows something.
Buster is covering something up.
Yeah.
I personally think that there's something that like no one but the family knows, like that tied into every single thing.
Maybe just nobody but Buster and Alec.
Or like
that's also true.
Maybe if Alec didn't do this like murder or whatever, like they know exactly who did it.
Maybe they paid someone off to do it. Because maybe Buster knew before. Okay, Buster knew before Paul and Maggie about Alex's financial crimes.
Yeah.
So maybe he knew that, and then they found out, and then they were gonna go to like the authorities about it, or like they were gonna like tell their clients.
Maybe, yeah.
That's another theory that I just thought of.
My theory is Mallory's dad. If you watch that documentary,
I know.
Oh, he looked like he wanted to like.
No. He literally said
to kill someone.
He literally said in the documentary, "I'm surprised to the prosecution. I'm surprised you didn't call me sooner."
And he also said something about like
That's
him being
true.
scary because he would do anything for his kids.
Yeah, which I mean, it's just like
I
a father being a
personally
father,
think,
but
well, yeah,
but still, how do you said that to a
yeah,
like?
No, yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
I personally think that it was aimed for Paul, and Maggie was just there as collateral damage. I don't think Maggie was supposed to die.
No, that's no. You have a point.
I genuinely think that whoever killed them was after Paul, and Maggie was just there.
Maybe Paul killed his mom.
Paul killed his mom, and then Alex found them and killed Paul.
No, that's not where I was going.
No, that's where I'm going. Is think about it. So Paul, like, they said in the documentary, like, Paul didn't like his mom. Like, and they probably got into a fight. 2 different murder weapons. Paul probably killed Maggie, and then Alex found out, and then killed Paul. The 2 different weapons, that would make sense.
I was gonna say, so Paul killed Maggie.
sure.
What if he was there? Like, he didn't kill them, but he was there.
I don't know how you don't hear anything, even when you're
No,
napping.
I mean,
But
like,
even if he said he was sleeping.
No, like, he was in on it, but he didn't kill them himself, but he was in on it, and he knew.
I don't know. There's 8,000 different conspiracy theories.
The amount
Yeah,
of
there's
different
a lot.
conspiracy theories.
I still think that mine of Buster killed. Okay, so this is my conspiracy theory that I've had since like kind of the beginning. So, Alec had the suicide on the side of the road by that like the cousin Eddie, right?
Oh yeah,
that
that's
didn't. So that didn't go through, right? It was botched. Okay, Alex. Plan in that was to have Buster collect the $10 million life insurance policy. That was his end goal.
Yeah.
So now they've talked about forever about how Paul was kind of like the favorite child because he was always like getting out of stuff and his parents were always helping him, his grandparents.
Well, no, in the documentary they said that Buster was Maggie's favorite child.
Yeah, okay. But Paul was definitely like favored by Alec.
I just think he got away with everything. I don't think he was
Exactly.
favored. I just think that he got away with whatever he wanted, and that's how he lived his life.
So Buster was mad at that, right? kills his mother and his brother because the suicide failed. Alex says, "I'll go down for it.
Okay,
Like, I'll take the fall and you can start a new life."
that would make sense with the other conspiracy theory that one, who is the dude from like 5 years beforehand that died?
Stephen Smith.
Stephen Smith. That conspiracy would make sense with the Stephen Smith conspiracy, because they said that him and Buster were like dating a thing.
Yeah.
And that Alex didn't approve of it. And now
Yeah.
they're opening up that whole other case
They're reopening it, yeah.
because of Alex getting convicted for murder.
Yeah. That Stephen Smith case was something else. That was an interesting murder
What happened
case.
with that? I've never.
So back in 2015, hold on. Before that, apparently Buster had possible relations with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was not approved by the family. The family didn't like it. This Stephen Smith kid's car broke down one night. He had enough trust in Buster to call him to like ask for a ride, which makes me think that there definitely was a relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? So he does that. He gets picked up. This is where it gets a little weird in the documentary because they don't really talk about like where
Buster was
they
with
took
one of
him.
his friends.
Yeah. So Buster was with his friends. Did they say in the documentary? Did Alec come? Was Alec with them?
No, it was
Okay.
just Buster and his friends, and they started like bullying this kid
Yeah.
and like messing around with him for some reason.
But
I think it was because
why?
I think it was because
Is there just no reason?
I don't know. And then he was found dead on the street, like just laying there on the street.
in the documentary they talk about because Stephen Smith was gay.
Yeah.
And they talk about in the documentary that was probably extremely hard in the deep South like that.
Oh yeah,
especially in high school. So
especially
and
back then,
that's-
because this was like years ago.
Yeah,
This wasn't now.
and that's why another reason why Alec probably wouldn't accept that,
Or-
especially for one of his sons.
Another theory is what I'm thinking is that like he texted Buster and he was with his friends, and then Buster and his friends killed him, and then Alex covered it up.
They staged it to make it look like a hit and run. They put his body in the middle of the road.
Exactly. And the housekeeper.
I was just going to talk about that.
And, yeah,
I
the
don't
housekeeper
believe.
too.
I don't believe that the house killer just tripped and fell.
I'm gonna be
and
100%
died.
honest with you.
No,
I would
not at all.
100% think Maggie pushed her downstairs.
Yeah.
150%.
Or Alex.
Between Alex wasn't home,
Oh, then yeah, Maggie.
so
Well, where were Paul and Buster though that day?
Paul was at the house.
But
Yeah.
He made the 911
They
call.
said that Paul was like Paul and her were like the closest, like
Yeah.
bestest of friends. Like they
that's true.
loved each other.
like Gloria Satterfield was her name. Gloria was more of Paul's mom than Maggie was, because she had been with the family since Paul was born.
Yeah.
And the story in the documentary is there was a possible, this was denied, affair between Gloria and Alec. And then Gloria found the opioids in the house, and possibly Maggie was like, caught her like snooping, like got mad at her for that, and then pushed her down the stairs. There was like a fight. She pushed her down the stairs and blamed it on that she tripped over the dogs. And obviously Paul will go
Yeah.
whatever her mother's, saying
Yeah.
to tell her. So she died 27 days later in the hospital, blunt force trauma to the head. She was alive. She was in a coma. The only thing that I can really think of is I want to know what Buster knows. Because
Oh,
that
Buster
kid
knows.
knows
Oh, yeah,
Buster
the
definitely knows
answer that
something.
we're all looking for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Buster definitely knows.
So-
and I think
And
I don't think the uncle knows though.
No. The way that he showed absolutely zero emotion.
Yeah.
The State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant. Indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116. Guilty verdict.
So now this is it. It's it's quote unquote over. 2 life
Yeah.
sentences were handed down. We don't.
Plus, he had a bunch of sentences for the financial crimes that he made.
That wasn't even tried yet.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
That's
case.
a whole different
That's
case.
true.
That's now
But he's already in prison for like the rest of his life. So
Yeah.
like, why even try?
No, they're gonna
Yeah.
just throw that out now, but it'll be on record and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just is crazy to think about, like, talk about like the fall of a dynasty. Seriously though,
Yeah, for real.
No,
like,
literally.
over
Imagine being his
100
grandparents.
I said
Oh,
that
they're-
his great grandfather is rolling in his grave.
Oh no,
Yeah, yeah, no,
literally.
definitely.
Like imagine working so
Just
hard
the
for your family,
disgrace.
having your photo up on the wall, and then having it getting taken down
down.
because one of your bloodline
Literally,
messed up your whole
yeah.
line.
Like,
Like,
your family is done.
Like Buster will never be able to be a lawyer now.
name.
Yeah, for like
Everyone's
Ever.
gonna know Murdaugh. Like he's gonna have to
Yeah.
change his name or something.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you disgraced yourself beyond belief, and then you just disgraced your entire family.
Yeah.
Over 100 years of Murdaugh law, and you just destroyed it. Done. That's where it
insane.
stops.
Yeah.
There was a
I-
lot of cover up.
I'm worried about all the families and all the people in the documentary. They're not safe.
No.
No, not
and if
at
they
all.
think that they're safe, like Buster's
Especially the
still out
girlfriend.
there.
Yeah,
Especially the
Buster's-
girlfriend.
Oh, she's screwed.
Yeah.
Especially the girlfriend.
Like
Dude,
I'm
Buster, I'm telling you, bro. Buster, one of these days,
Buster's
Buster's
gonna get his
crack.
revenge.
He's gonna crack, and he's gonna just tell
I
everything.
mean, if you think about it, like your mom and your brother are dead.
Like,
your
yeah.
dad's in prison for life. Think about all the other stuff that's happened like in his
Where do
life
you
that
even
we don't even
start?
know about.
Yeah.
Right? Where do you even start?
If he's not in counseling now, someone needs to court order that man in counseling. Because that man is gonna crack and he's gonna break.
He's gonna be a serial killer.
He's gonna
and
go like
He's gonna-
something's
Yeah.
gonna go wrong. Because no amount of person can handle that much.
Yeah.
But that's what makes me think that he's already like insane. Because look,
That's why
he
I think-
showed
Okay, but look at his
no
face during the
emotion.
whole trial.
No emotion.
No emotion.
That's
Like
why I'm
he was,
saying-
like,
he flipped
smirking.
off. He flipped off one of the
reporters.
One of the
yeah.
reporters.
He flipped her
Like,
off,
you
and then he
can
was
see it.
smiling. That's what
He
I'm
was
saying. I
smirking,
think he's
too. I
too
was
far
like-
gone. He's already
He's
insane.
already gone.
But I don't think
he's not
that-
coming back.
I don't
He's
think
like-
that he killed anyone though.
Except that Stephen Smith kid.
I mean,
If-
yeah, well, yeah,
yeah.
but I don't think he killed Paul or Maggie. I think he loved his mom too much, and I think he loved his brother.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's
he
some
knows something.
crazy. Like, you gotta, like, I don't know. But, like, he is definitely going off the deep end quick if
Oh,
he's not
yeah.
already
Oh,
there.
Dad, I don't have an exact figure. You know, a couple tens of thousands maybe. You know, just selling pieces of equipment.
All right. Well, I love you, and you.
What are